All grants with the National Science Foundation have two criteria. Criteria 1 is the research aspect, and criteria 2 is the broader impact, which is also known as educational outreach.
This is a project funded by the National Science Foundation whose technological aspect refers to nanoarchitectures for molecular electronics, and the broader impacts based on outreach are based here in Casa, Pueblo. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer, unas prácticas aquí sencillas sobre procesos de percolación. Ustedes van a preparar unas muestras, digamos, sintéticas de suelo, mezclando diferentes materiales y caracterizar las propiedades del agua fluyendo a través de eso. The broader impacts, in particular, are intended to reach young children at an early age where they still have that great interest in science, and to try to make that flourish in a very natural way with exercises that deal with their everyday experience.
En el día de hoy, ustedes van a ser los científicos que van a llevar la batuta aquí trabajando. Yo solamente les voy a estar aquí de guía, y también cada uno de ustedes van a estar en cada grupo, hay uno guía. Cualquier pregunta, ya ellos saben lo que hay que hacer.
It is important that we try to bring science into the classroom as early as possible. We know that kids get discouraged to study science early in their stage, but if we create activities where we can bring what is going on in research and make it interesting and fun, and bringing equipment that sometimes the schools don't have, so it's probable that these kids will at least consider learning science in the future.
Aquí por ejemplo, que está todavía seco. Ahora sí. Ahora sí, papá.
Mi trabajo aquí es ayudar a los estudiantes trabajando con distintas cosas como son probetas, balanzas y ese tipo de materiales que ellos usualmente no usan en la escuela, ya que pues muchos de ellos no tienen laboratorio. So, nosotros les llevamos esos conocimientos para que cuando ellos lleguen a la universidad se les haga mucho más fácil trabajar.
Cuando me hablaron por primera vez del proyecto, acepté sin ningún problema porque siempre he sido fiel defensor de darle a nuestra juventud la oportunidad de tener la experiencia de conocer científicos. Eso se llama menisco. ¿Está bien?
It's important for the kids, I think, because they need to be exposed to scientists so that they understand that scientists are not just people in lab coats all serious all the time, and they actually get to do the science themselves, and hopefully it gets them interested in science. Maybe they'll do science, or at least they'll appreciate the value of science.
Many of the problems that we face as a nation and as well as a world will be solved by the next generation of chemists and scientists and engineers.
Si tú tienes, por ejemplo, si tú vas a pasar agua entre estas dos, ¿cuál tú crees que va a pasar más rápido? Por este, porque tiene menos superficie, ¿no?
Se percoló. The workshop that we give today, which was percolation, it's talking about the surface to volume ratio, which is very important in bodily system as well as a live forest.
Cuando están en los fuegos, por arriba usted ve el helicóptero y dice, ¿y para qué está ese helicóptero allá arriba? Básicamente lo que están haciendo es cogiendo fotos de qué por ciento de los árboles están en fuego. Porque a través de la teoría de percolación, si un número dado por área tiene fuego, quiere decir que toda esa área se va a quemar, independientemente de lo que usted haga. Y si eso es así, pues yo digo, si se van a quemar como quiera, pues yo voy a estar un poquito más adelante y empiezo a cortar palos para que ese frente no se propague.
En el vaso que echamos la tierra hubo menos que en el que echamos el de la piedra.
24. We never talked about this as a biology or a chemistry workshop. We're just teaching a concept.
Many people will say up front that it's important for the children or the students K-12 to educate them early on to realize what fun it is to be in science education, that it's a creative process. But what I've learned is that it is the scientists, especially the graduate students, that benefit the most from this experience.
Una de esas cosas que me hace feliz es llevarle esos conocimientos nuevos a los estudiantes, enseñarlos porque pues como es base, esto es base y eso pues nace del corazón de uno, llevarle esas cosas nuevas a ellos para que ellos aprendan todos los días algo nuevo.
It's very important to me to invest in people, even at a young age, who might otherwise not be exposed to the miracle of scientific discovery.
Así que, ¿cuál es el valor real?
It's very important for us to do this type of outreach such that we get a chance to interact with the public and talk to people who don't do science all the time and just talk science with them, and it gets us back to connecting with the public, and then it gives us an appreciation for education, which is a very big part of being a research scientist.
¿De todas las observaciones? Dividido entre 8, que son el número de observaciones. Así que we're also creating a culture that education and research go hand in hand. So if we start teaching our undergrads and our graduate students and our faculty professors that being involved in this kind of activity will change the way educational activities are perceived. And not only that, the quality and quantity of these activities will be enriched.
Vemos más fino.
At Cornell University, we have scientists who have developed over 50 activities so that any educator can borrow them. So we created what is referred to as a lending library of modules. So now you can go onto a website and so take all the content knowledge, all the background that's provided, the worksheets, etc., and all the materials that you possibly need to carry out an activity in a classroom is all self-contained and gets shipped out to you, and you can execute and do the activity with your classroom, and then you could ship it back. So all this is for free.
¿Y qué hacen todos los científicos cuando tienen una muestra? La rotulan.
What the vision is that we can develop many of these activities that align with state standards, the national science standards as well, so that any teacher can have access to these materials and do it in their classroom.